Good afternoon. My name is Michael Schechter. I'm a small business trainer here in the United States, mostly in the Northeast region. And what I'm talking about today is that if you do a presentation for a small business owner, one of the first things you need to do after finding out their needs is what? Credibility. Okay, now how do you establish credibility before you do a presentation? Well, one thing you want to do is what I use is a tool that's very convenient. It's good for small business memberships, but it's also good for individual presentations, identity theft, whatever you might need to do. Now, I typically will show them a magazine here, the Money Magazine. Most of us have all seen this magazine before. And Money Magazine, I tell them, typically ranks as top 50 stocks of the decade. In this particular issue, Prepaid Legal Services was ranked number 13. Another company they're all probably familiar with, Microsoft, is ranked number 17. So we actually outperformed Microsoft. And this was the top 50 companies of 8,000 publicly traded companies. So that's not bad. Another magazine, Forbes magazine, ranked the top 200 small business. And we made this list 12 years in a row. Okay, actually we were number 12 on this list. And so you can actually show them the list and point to number 12 on that list. Okay, best small companies. Fortune magazine. Some of you may be familiar with the USA Today article where they had profiled 63 different companies. And they had looked at the last 15-year stock gain. And we actually made this list. It was they looked at the last 15 years of every company, and the top 3 companies on that list were Jeff Bezos from Amazon.com. He's the founder and CEO, and Michael Dell. And right here, front and center, is Harlan Stonecipher, the founder and CEO of Prepaid Legal Services. We actually had a 4,300% stock gain in the last 15 years. Here's another article in Business Week. And they looked at the stocks worth considering, all right, which is right here. And the highest mid to small cap company, Prepaid Legal Services. So this is all good third-party credibility. Now, talking about identity theft, you can show them Consumer Reports, 33 million victims and counting. So that's a lot of credibility to your presentation. Again, this could be part of a small business presentation, a group presentation where you show employees, or even an individual presentation, maybe on the train or at a Starbucks, anywhere. This is very convenient. It's another magazine article, the Washington Post. And here's another article, Identity Theft. You could be a victim and not even know it. The thing you have to ask yourself is, when's the last time you checked your credit report? Some of you haven't checked your credit report in a long time, if ever. Now, how many of you have used a cheat sheet in your past? Maybe in elementary school? Well, I created a giant cheat sheet for identity theft presentations. And it looks like this. All right, you've got some basic facts on identity theft. It is the fastest growing crime in the United States. Some people like to call it a business. Immunity is impossible. I'm not here to tell you you can prevent this from happening, because you can't. 9.9 million people victimized annually. Now, when I first heard that number, I thought it was a large number, but relative to what? But if you divide that number by 365, you get 27,000. 27,000 people woke up this morning, and when they go to bed tonight, they're going to discover they're victims of identity theft. And typically, the moment of discovery is months or years later than the actual crime. And the person who stole your identity are not the people who are using your identity, if you know what I mean. Tiger Woods, Oprah Winfrey, Martha Stewart, all victims of identity theft. You may ask people who saw the movie Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. It's all in here, so you can always talk to your prospect and talk to them about that. How do thieves get your information? All right there in red, and it lists a whole bunch of examples: dumpster diving, business record theft. How do thieves use your information? They can go through your incoming and outgoing mail, establish wireless phone service in your name, many different areas. Now, what does this look like to you? The 5 areas of coverage. So you can go ahead and sit down, and you don't even need a brochure. You can just use this. Again, you can point, cite examples. Now, how many of you would like to go ahead and market to an insurance agency or an agent? And what does this say? Prepaid legal from a novelty to an accepted insurance marketing opportunity. And this was written by a professor who got his PhD from Harvard University, spent 25 years in the financial services industry. So this is great third-party credibility. The identity theft brochure. So you can actually show them the identity theft brochure, or 3 areas of protection. Now, what does this look like? This is the small business membership brochure, the solutions plan. And so you can go ahead and show them our areas of service for the small business plan. It doesn't matter if you're offering the self-employed, the home-based business plan, or the solutions plan. You can still use this brochure. And then another thing that I like to do is to compare and contrast. If you talk to somebody about their business, and you go ahead and cover up this area here and say, Mr. Business Owner, this is your business. Okay, so we're in your office, you have a reception area, a warehouse, a conference room. If you had a particular challenge in your business and you had to go ahead and hire a consultant, you'd probably have to expect to pay $300 to $1,000 a day. And you'd be happy to do that because you need to go ahead and fix what's ailing you and get back up and running. But if I could show you a way where you could actually wrap a whole team of consultants around your business for about $4 a day, would you be interested in getting more information? And you can show them. We have marketing, advertising, tax and accounting, legal, all of these things that we wrap around. This is your business resource departments. And then when I first actually started marketing the business membership, I had a difficult time trying to show them the website. First of all, if you're in a Starbucks or on a train, it's very hard to get on the internet. A lot of times if you're in somebody's office, it's very awkward to go ahead and get on their own computer because it's kind of an invasion of their own space. So what I did was I created some snapshots of GoSmallBiz.com. And this is actually, you can point to the blue content channels right here. There's a small business directory, all these areas that they can take advantage of with the GoSmallBiz.com membership. Even have a snapshot of the membership benefits. So you can actually share with them what they get. Now, another thing that I like to do, especially when I'm trying to close the sale, is to do a needs analysis of their business. All right, and this is entitled Small Business Plans Value Added for Your Business. And what I like to do is use these columns for the features that they get. And I ask them on a monthly basis, how much usage are they getting out of their attorneys? And so the first thing I'll ask them is, Mr. Business Owner, what do you typically pay on an hourly basis for an attorney? And if whatever they say, $250, $350 an hour, always round it down to $100 an hour. So we'll go ahead and put down 100 on this plan here. All right, so you're going to go ahead and put $100 on the average hourly cost you used on this plan. And so you're going to ask them about legal correspondence, legal consultation. And typically what you want to do is guide them on their answers. 1 or 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at most, but usually 1 or 2 hours. And then you're going to go ahead and ask about legal correspondence, legal consultation, internet guidance, which they may have needed but they never had access to or they couldn't afford, and then debt collection. That's the first 4 items on here. And typically what you'll do is total that up, and it'll be about 6 or 7 hours, which will translate into $700 for the market cost, okay, versus the plan cost, which is only $100, $110 a month, all right, which is what we're doing. We're bundling the family plan, the business plan, and the identity theft all together. And then the last thing what we do is show the toolbox, which is part of the small business plan. This is a snapshot of the toolbox here. Now, these things are great. They're very handy. I've used these on many presentations. I've made a lot of money using this one tool. You don't need a DVD player, and you don't need brochures. You don't need really anything. And what do these cost? Well, today they're going to be available in your training today for $30 for the whole set. And if you are interested in getting one of these, just see Mr. Parrish. He'll go ahead and take care of that for you. And you can pay him by check or with cash. Okay? And I'd like to go ahead and thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and success to you. Good selling.